You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, presented by the Only One Media Group. This is the people's choice for quality interviews, celebrities and special guests. Hosted by Demetrius Dini Reynolds. Call in to join the mix at 701-801-9813. For the complete archive of episodes, visit onlyonemediagroup.com and be sure to like us on Facebook at Vigilantes Radio. We welcome all. Enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds. Enjoy the show.
Yo, welcome to another awesome episode of Vigilantes Radio. I'm your host, dini-mussolini. Although this is a pre-recorded episode, I can't wait to deliver this to your inboxes, to deliver it to all the podcast apps and platforms that you may listen to, because we have a very special guest for this morning's segment, or early afternoon, depends on which part of the country you're in, right? So yeah, I can't wait to deliver this episode to you guys. Winners keep on winning. Staying on top is often more challenging than getting there in the first place. There's an awesome responsibility, challenge, and vulnerability in being the leader. It is a position which must be handled with confidence and a certain amount of humility. Just because you're a winner today doesn't mean you're set for life. Just because you've accomplished great things doesn't make you immune from failure. Enjoy the victory, bask in the glory, and then find an even bigger challenge. Take your vision to a new level and see things that have never been seen before. There's no point in winning if you let it make you complacent. See every achievement as a stepping stone to even greater things. Catch your breath, then get back in the race while your momentum is still strong. When you become the leader, the challenge has just begun. Rise to that challenge, and the possibilities are extraordinary. Take that from me, Dini-Mussolini. That is my word, and word is bond.
You're live in the mix. Let's get this started.
Yo, hello, and welcome to another awesome episode of Inside the Music, or the book, or film, or even the business, where we dive into the minds of the people who create these marvelous things. It feels so good to be back with you guys once again. Big ups to my folks who are indigos, crystalline, or the starseeds, for my Vigilantes audience family, for my hooligans, and shout out to my people who are vegetarian or vegans. If you're in a struggle like me, we are averaging over 37,000 live listeners, and we've been at this for 5 solid years. I appreciate to all you guys who've been rocking with the kid on this journey, and we are still evolving, baby. It is all because of you, most definitely. We are the people who have dedicated their lives to music, spirituality, business, literature, art, films, and research in every aspect. And we want to allow you an opportunity to tell your story. Man, we've had celebrities on our show, from Grammy Award-winning artists, nominees, to actors, comedians, CEOs, technology revolutionaries, visual artists, from authors to professors, and vampires. Or people who think they're vampires. It doesn't matter who you are or where you come from. Come on our show and talk to me. So check it out to book your interview or to appear on my other show called Skeptics. Email me at vradio@onlyonemediagroup.com, and that's V as in Victor. We hope to get the stories behind these unique people and give them a chance to tell their truth to us and the universe. That is Vigilantes Radio sole purpose. You know the number to dial, 7 701-801-9813. Share that number with your buddy right now and tell them to tune in to connect with us or our guests, or you can hop in the mix directly from our website, which is onlyonemediagroup.com. Right from the homepage, you can slap that go live button and you'll be here live in the mix and in the chat room with all of us. So feel free to shoot over some questions to ask our guests while they are here, but only as time permits. Sometimes my guests and I talk entirely too much. And as always, all episodes are available for free download, and you can grab that from either Spreaker.com/only1mediagroup, iTunes, Player.fm, YouTube, any app from the Google Play or iTunes Store, or over at our website. And that goes for every single episode that we've ever aired.
Well, today's interview, if you receive my email, of course, then you already know who the surprise guest is. But if you haven't checked the email yet, I'm going to go ahead and spoil it for you. Today's interview is the Darrl, they call him the Hairbender-Roberts interview. And again, I'm your host, dini-mussolini. Our interviews go beyond the music, the books, the magazines, the films, the products, and even sometimes the ego. We go into the minds of authors, artists, bands, CEOs, creators who create these marvelous aspirations, from researching our guests, mining for details, and watching, reading, listening to everything we can. Our interviews are designed to bring out the best answers possible through provoking questions that have real substance. So with that, let's go ahead and welcome our guest to the show. Hey, Darrl, what's going on?
Hey, man. Everything is good, brother.
Hey, man. You are right now like the talk of the town, the guy on top. How's it going?
It's good. It's really good, I must say. Be honest with you, man. It's sometimes it feels surreal, but, you know, when you put in, you know, the work and, you know, you have all the ethics and everything else that goes along with it, the grind, you tend to appreciate it more. And you don't take, you know, no day for granted, I would say.
Yeah. And you have an incredible story too, man. I don't know. I don't know if I should say it like this, but sometimes it's just the harsh reality of being a black male in America is that sometimes the game is rigged. You know, it's not designed for some of us to win. And I'm not going to say that. And I always say this, like, no matter where you're born at, like me, I'm from the slums. But if you look at me today, you could not tell. You think I was born with a silver spoon. And that just goes to say that we all have choices, and our choices take us to different points in our lives, whether we're born poor, born an orphanage, born in the slums, went to jail, all those type of things. It's what you do with your time that you're given on the earth. Yeah, so you have that kind of story where, you know, the game was rigged. It's not designed for people like us to make it, to survive, to win. But you won. You even spent some time in jail. So let's talk about, like, that time before where you are now. Let's talk about that story.
Oh, man, that's a dark one. It's a dark one. I'm going to start off by saying this. It was definitely, I made a very bad choice.
Yeah.
My initial goal was I wanted to become a real estate developer. My dad was a contractor, and he wasn't into houses. He could build anything. He could look at anything. If he could draw it or see it, he could build it. But he was never into houses. But that's what I wanted to do. But, you know, I was young then. Mind you, I had a job, and when I started, like, reading books and stuff on real estate, everything was money. You need money for this, you need money for that. I didn't have no business people around me when I was younger. I used to work for this guy, a real successful Italian pizza owner, and I talked to him one time. He was telling me that, you know, you need money, and I really believe it. I know there's more ways to do it, but every turn, you know, I was making, it was money. So being a young African American with a lot of drive and ambition that you really can't teach. I was in an environment where I seen an opportunity to make that money. I knew I couldn't make that kind of money working a job getting paid $6 an hour. I knew at that point. I knew it wasn't possible. So man, I made the mistake. I started selling marijuana, and man, it was crazy. Like it was crazy. One thing led to another. It went from marijuana to crack cocaine, from crack cocaine to cocaine, and it went from like I remember it like yesterday, man. It was like a $5 bag of weed to a half a kilo of cocaine, and now I'm in a position where it's all of my dreams that I had. It's possible now. And it's crazy because it was totally crazy. I would never forget this. And I always tell this story to people that I come in contact with whenever this comes up, or even young guys I'm trying to deter from. Me and my brother Wade, we was driving up the bridge, and man, the numbers, I don't want to call them out, but it was crazy. And I told him, I said, man, something don't feel right. He was like, what you mean? I said, man, too much is being made, and there's no heat. In the streets, you run into stuff, whether it's with other dealers with certain territories or even the cops. Like, everything was just quiet. It was just like a quiet room. And I told him, man, there's no opposition coming from nowhere. And he said, why you feel? I said, I just got a weird feeling. I said, man, I'm ready to get out. And he was like, bro, I hear you. And he was the one I would always talk to. He wasn't a live wire or somebody who was like, nah, man. He was more, you can talk to him. He's more relatable. He observed, both sides of the spectrum. And man, I kid you not, I remember that night like yesterday. 2 days later, it all came raining down. Come to find out that the detectives, they weren't initially after me. They were after a guy I was dealing with, and I got caught up more like collateral damage. And when they hit his house, they hit mine. They hit mine also. And that day, it was a rainy day. That day I went down for half a kilo of cocaine. I went down for half a kilo of cocaine, man, and I was young. I was very young. You're talking about somebody like 19, 20 years old that was doing that. And it was, nobody seen it coming. I didn't see it coming. Nobody seen it coming. I remember even when the cops grabbed me, they said that you don't look like it, but we know what you're doing. And long story short, they used some scare tactics on me, which were illegal, but they were worked out in court. They were brought before the judge and everything. And man, this is crazy. So they told me, so the drugs were at my parents' house. It's like all this stuff happened, like it was kind of like it was meant to happen, because I never did that. Just this particular day, I did it. I never did that. But for some reason, everything aligned up for it to happen that way. So when it happened, they told me, the detectives told me, say, hey, look, you need to make us believe that this is yours, and we'll let your brothers go, because they was threatening to take my brothers and put them foster care, let the state take them. I say, nah, man, I'm not doing all that. And they're like, turn on somebody. We're like, nah, you caught me with this. It's mine. Let's just go from there. So I had to make a recording. And I'll never forget this, man. I made this recording. I'm watching the man take the tape out of the paper. It was a brand new recording. So he put in a tape recorder, and they were so happy that they got me on tape. They were saying, they got me on tape saying that or whatnot. When we got to fast forward a little bit, when we got to court, when we did a tape, they never made me sign nothing saying I said anything. They just took the tape and they, entered it into evidence. Well, I go down. I'm sitting in jail for like a month or something. I finally get out. And my lawyer, he was going crazy because he didn't want the feds to pick it up because it was a weight case. It was over 500 grams. Over 28 grams, but this was over 500 grams. So, man, I'm going back and forth to court, man, for 2.5 years. Bro, it was like, it was so hard mentally. Like, I can't even describe it. Mind you, I went cold turkey. The money that I did have saved, that went back to the lawyer to fight all this stuff off. Now, before I tell you this last part, let me just say this. The day they caught me, I was happy, which is crazy. I was happy. And my brother, I was telling you about, we were sitting on the sofa. They had us on the sofa in handcuffs, and he looked over at me. He said, "How you knew that?" I said, "I didn't know. I just had a feeling." And the cops going through the house, and I wasn't trying to hide it. Like I told you, I never bought anything, and I wasn't trying to hide it. So it was just hanging out. It was just hanging out about. It was in the bag, wrapped in bags. And after about 2 years of search, 2 hours of search, right before they about to walk out, they find it.
Oh, man.
Yeah, bingo, we got it. So going through court, constantly being told, look, you're going to do 10 or 15 years flat because we found I had a pistol, but it was legal, so I had no felony convictions. When they pulled me over, I had a pistol in the car. It was a good, clean pistol, whatnot. I just had it, just because I was able to get a pistol. So they put it together trying to say I was using it to protect the drugs or whatever, they found, which really wasn't the case. So going to court, I'm hearing this all the time. I'm like, man, this is the decision I made, and I'm gonna do. I know I had to do the time, but I remember telling my lawyer, I'm like, look, I'm not taking 10 years. I'm not taking 15. If they would have said 5 flat, I may have, but not knowing. But I say I'm not taking that. They wouldn't go down because I wouldn't tell on nobody. So here we are. We going to court. Man, listen to me when I tell you this. Listen to what I'm telling you. This moment really defined my faith in God. I'll never forget this. So we're in court. Right before again, I said, Lord, if you deliver me out of this one, I promise you I would never, ever do this again. I would never talk about it in a good way. When I do talk about it, it's always going to be point toward the direction of, look, you make bad choices, but you can avoid this. Don't do it. Take it from me. I went through this. They saved my case for last. They had the ATF in there. They had the lead DA. They had the assistant DA. And they had, I went through, I believe, 2 judges. I think I went through, and they moved me to another courtroom, I believe, I can remember correctly. And they had me charged with possession of 500 grams of cocaine, knowing and intentfully, knowing what was in the bag. Mind you, I made the statement just to get my brother's name out of it. The bag was all wrapped up. So anyway, they go in. So the judge says, tells the state, we have Mr. Robert charged with this. Y'all have to prove this, that he said that. Well, they never did a transcript or anything. In that letter, they was the paper I was supposed to sign. They were so happy of getting a confession that they didn't worry about it. So my lawyer asked for the tape to play. Mind you, it's all kind of, they got the people that be typing and stuff in there, and state going, saying what they have to say. My lawyer saying what they got to say. And everybody, when they bring the tape out, they put it on the table. And when they played it, they hit the play button. And, they got it hooked up to the microphones and the speakers and everything. Man, when that tape came on, I promise you, this is what all you heard was, shh. like somebody blew in the tape. All of the evidence that they claimed they had was gone. When I tell you it took all the life out of me, even my lawyer looked at me and he couldn't believe it. So the judge asked the state, where's the confession? So they're messing with the tape. They could not get it to play for nothing. And I watched them this was a brand new tape. That tape would not play in court. There was nothing on. It sounded like somebody blew into a microphone, like, and the whole courtroom got quiet. So with them not having the most vital part of their case, that was the glue for everything that they said about me. Which they had other things that was way off, but I tend not to go into that because this was the heart of it. When that happened, all the DA was able to say was, Your Honor, we had a confession. You can hear something that went wrong. So instead of the judge, because they didn't have that, she couldn't give me 15 years, which was a minimum sentence for that amount of cocaine, because there was no proof that I admitted to it. But she said she couldn't let me walk free because it was too much. Too many. Somebody had to answer for those drugs. There's no way I'm not letting my parents or anybody else not responsible. It had nothing to do with that. No knowledge of it. Neither, myself for whatever they was trying to say. So she goes back and she says, "Well, I tell you what. I've been watching this guy for some time. He doesn't look like a drug dealer or whatnot. And I had gotten to school around this time. So I had went cold turkey. I was done with it. And she said, today I'm just going to give you 5 years with good time. So I only had to do 2.5 years. Mind you, I went from 15 years flat, which I would still be in jail today. We wouldn't be talking about this right now. To 2.5 years. When we walked out the courtroom, my lawyer wasn't a believer, and I was pretty skeptical at the time. Like, I always had my belief, but I never had my own testimony. Sure, you'll read about the patriarchs in the Bible, and you have people that tell you certain things, but I experienced this for myself. My lawyer looked me straight in the eye, and he said, I don't know who you're praying to, but whoever you are, keep doing it. And that was the last conversation me and him had. And I went on and did my time, made the best of it, read books, became a tutor to help the other inmates in jail get their GEDs. I was a lead barber there. I spent my time wisely, but prior, that whole, the feeling of it's happening, the day they found the drugs, and what happened that day in that courtroom, I will never forget. Never. And that's something I even wrote down that I want to pass down, like, to my children. And I'm always tell that story of your grandfather. And this was the day he really kind of cemented his faith in God, because nobody can explain what happened that day. Yeah. Nobody. That was a miracle. For me, it was a miracle. It was a ride, man. It was a crazy ride. It was a crazy ride.
Wow.
You're right. Yeah.
Incredible story. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So when you're doing your documentary or your movie?
Oh, well, actually, so actually, I have a book. I'm working on a book right now. This talented, she's a writer. She's down in Atlanta. She has a writing firm called Speech and Pen. Tanisha Banks, real bubbly spirit, very creative. She reached out to me. I had made some posts on social media about where I came from, and she didn't know that. She know me now. She didn't know who I was prior to, and it just blew her away. And she reached out to me and said that she wanted, and she does a lot of screenplays too. And she said she's like, hey D, I want to do something special with you that I believe that will reach a lot of people that dealt with what you dealt with, they're dealing with it and don't know how to come out of it. And I think it hit home for her because if my memory serves me correctly, she has a brother that kind of is, tied up. And, it's hard to get out of those situations. And we've been working on it for like 4 months. And when I tell you it's unbelievable, the book is she has a prologue and the first 2 chapters done. And I've shared it with people like really close to me, like my wife, my sister, my brother, and they are blown away. Like the way it pulls, like from the first 2 words, it just pulls you in, and it brings you to a place of darkness, because that's the way the book starts out, right? And when I read it, I had to tell my wife, I had to put it down. I said, she's like, what? I'm like, it makes me relive those moments, because it's not sugarcoated. And that was one of the purposes of the book, because when I was in jail, like renewing my mind, getting all of that, all the bad stuff out. And I know I even read, like, you have to replace those things with something, because if you don't, you'll revert back to them like a dog in its vomit, right? So these books that I was reading, they were good, they were general, but they weren't real. You can kind of tell that somebody just gave them some thoughts, and the writer not to knock anybody. I don't knock anybody's work, but for me, I was in a real situation. I just, I almost lost my life a couple of times. I almost lost my life for 15 years. There were times I could have died. So everything was serious for me. Everything was real. And these books were very vague. They'll get you going. They'll keep you occupied. But it was no real blueprint, or nobody was saying what they really went through. It was kind of, okay, this is what you can do. So that was one of the biggest things of the project was to be real. Of course, we're changing names and everything, but like the courses I took, like how I almost lost my business, how people laughed at me when I came out and said I was going to work a job, because the people I left, they knew me as this D-boy that was doing really well, and which was crazy, because they didn't want to see nobody new per se, or either they didn't want to see anybody new, or they couldn't believe who I was, because you always have guys that come out of jail and say they're going to do the right thing, and they don't do it, and they don't do it is because they don't know how. There's no jail does not reform you. I don't care what they say. I've been there. I went through Hunts. I went through Nelson Coleman. Jail it sits you still, and whoever you are, right, at that moment or that you are in jail, you're going to become, more often than not, you're going to become worse, because most of the conversations that's taking place in there, you have a bunch of guys with idle minds, so everybody is talking about how they can do it better. You know what I'm saying? How not to get caught the next time, And it's not their fault, but there are really no programs that I've seen that really helps change the thinking of these people, these brothers and these sisters, while they're incarcerated. There isn't. If you're not strong-willed and do it yourself, have that kind of mentality, you're going to come out the same person you went in, or you're going to come out 10 times worse, because you have 10 more ideals that you heard from other people that you think may work. So your mentality is, okay, I'm going to try to get a job. I don't want a job, but I'm going to try, just to say I tried. You know what I'm saying?
Like but taking my a pay cut too, right? Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. So my real plan is I'm going back to the streets, and I'm 10 times smarter. But you just don't know. You're not thinking about these guys who figured all this stuff out. They are in jail, and it's a revolving door. And that person, like, man, it's bad. Like all the guys I was locked up with, some of the guys from my neighborhood. One of them, he just passed. He was killed, and it was street violence. And it hurt me. It hurt me real bad, because when he left me in there, and I told him, we had these conversations, and
He was like, man, I think I got another chance, D-Block. That's what they used to call me. I'm like, man, you don't have another chance. I say, man, get a job. You're like, man, but a job, the jobs are going to be slow. I got children, this and the third. I say, man, but you're working in here for free. So anything you do out there is up for you. That's an up for you. I did 2.5 years. Right before I left, he came back. I left him. He came home. He went back. He came home again. And now he's gone forever. And he would always express to me, because he used to come to his haircut sometime. He's like, man, D, I want to quit, but I don't know how. And everybody I run into, they say the same thing, and he knew my story. And his thing was, man, but I don't know how to cut hair. You had a skill already. And it never dawned on me till I really thought about this like some weeks ago. Like, you're right. You don't have no skills. You don't have no resources. You don't even have the family to support you transitioning back into society. When you're in jail, you may get these skills, all right? They may have a wellness trade or not. I have a cousin, he did it. He took advantage of that. But there's no follow-up programs with people coming out or jobs lined up for people coming out. It's like we just kick you back out into society, and we're going to wait for you to come back. I had guards tell me that. You're gonna come back, because that's all they used to see. But you come out with no plan, no skill, no system, no support system, your chances are slim to none. You know what I'm saying? Because all the temptations are out there. And all the traps, too. It's already set up for you to lose. But, yeah, man, it's a sensitive subject. And it's bad. Yeah. Because there's no signs of slowdown or even turnaround at all.
Wow.
At all.
Man. Incredible. So you have the book that you're working on. And you're also like a motivational speaker. You go around and telling your story, the ups and downs of the industry. How did all that start?
As far as like getting into the ballroom business? That's what you're talking about? Okay, yeah. All right. So I always did know how to cut hair, right? I always knew how to cut hair. I have uncles that were barbers. My grandmother, she's a retired stylist. She was one of the best in her day. They used to say she had growing hands. And, I ask her about that sometimes. It would be funny. You're like, oh, my hair, did I ever show you any interest in doing hair or anything? And she say no. She say, boy, you used to run around and play, and I just put you to sleep till I finish working. So I'm out of prison. Fast forward, I'm out of prison. I'm not going back in the streets. So I'm applying to Burger King. I tried to apply for the garbage truck. And to mind you, this is hard. This is very hard. You're talking about somebody that's used to his last form of income. I'm just going to throw a number out there. Whether it's false or not, 30, 40,000 a month profit. And you come and you're working for $7 an hour. That's hard. You know what kind of mentality it takes not to do that anymore? It's so hard. I'm telling you this because I went through it. So these jobs didn't hire me, so I went to some construction jobs. I got on with a subcontractor building scalpers through a plant. So I was a helper, very good. I already had some experience in carpentry because my dad was a contractor. So I'm working these plants. Layoff time come job, their contracts slow up. I wasn't the first to go. What they would do is their first set of layoffs would be people that missed too many days or people that weren't good workers. So they're going to push them out first. Then they're going to push out the people with felony convictions. And they're going to keep their office people or the people that's connected with the office that are in the field. That's how they do their cut. So I got hit up in that. Now, the good thing about it, I worked 9 months graveyard shift from 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. in the morning. All I did was save my money. So when layoff came, it wasn't no biggie. I had to save up some money. I got a car. Grandmother helped me get a car, put in her name because I didn't have the credit at the time. So in that time frame, I was saving and I was building my credit. I get another job, construction. When I took this job, I say, man, look, I don't want to get laid off again, but I know how this construction stuff work already. So I got it involved into the apprenticeship program, cutting hair on the side. With the program, it allows you to work in a barbershop. You can cut hair at the barbershop, but you had to go to class once a week, and you got most of your hours in the shop. So I started doing that, and I was on this job probably about 6 months, and boom, it came again. They laid me off, but this time I was prepared. So when I got laid off, right, I get laid off, I just go into the barbershop full time now because I built up some clientele in those 6 months, and people had already known me for cutting hair, but I never liked doing it because I was in the other stuff. I hated cutting hair. So I made a goal for myself when I got fired. I said, man, I'm gonna make a small goal. I want to make $300 a week. If I got to sit in this shop from sun up to sundown, this is what I'm going to do. If I could stand on those corners in the coldest winters and the hottest summers, to make a sale, I can do this. And plus, I'm going to be in AC. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to be here before the owner get here. I'm going to be here after he leave and everybody else. And I did that. I achieved that $300 goal in about a month. And then it went up a little bit. About 7 months, I was at about 600. I said, man, I'm at 600 a week. But I'm close to making what I was making in the plant. And I'm not tied to nobody. Mm-hmm. And about a year came, I was at probably about 650. It wasn't too much of an increase. Not too many people know. It was only the people that know me, and they were referring people. I ended up switching shops. Man, this was the greatest thing. I left this barbershop because me and the owner had a little disagreement, so it was best for me to leave. I started working in my cousin Shawanda's shop. Now, this was a hair salon. Mind you, I came out of a barbershop and went into a hair salon. This hair salon only had women coming in. All of these women had children. There were like 5 stylists in there. No, 4 stylists, I'm sorry. 4 stylists. And I was all cutting all of their children there. And then their father started coming after the father started seeing their haircut. And then they were referring to all them people. And then I was up to like 900 a week. I said, man, I could run with this. And I started using, when I was in class one day, and my teacher said, if y'all want to be successful, y'all got to find y'all niche. Y'all have to do something nobody else is doing. And that's when my light bulb went off, because naturally I have a talent for drawing. I started doing all these weird designs that people had posted on social media. I was the only one doing this at the time, designs and coloring it in. I look at it today, it was real cartoonish. I was like, man, I really did that. But it worked. It worked at that time. And it got everybody's attention. And, man, the people just started pouring in. And then I just started seeing more opportunities. I said, man, I want to open a shop. And I accomplished that. And I opened the shop, and I had good people I was working with. I was blessing up to have really good people. And then it went from, and I almost lost my shop because it was real hard trying to build that out, not having the full knowledge, and you need an architect and live stamps for the parish to approve. They shut me down for 6 months. It was hard. I almost gave up. I almost just let it all go. A good friend of mine named Tori, he business guy, and he talked to me one day, and I was hurting because I was paying booth rent. I was spending thousands of dollars trying to build my shop out, and I had to take care of myself. I let go of my apartment, right? I was sleeping in my car. A lot of people don't know. I was sleeping in a shop that I was building. I was taking baths in the bathroom in a little sink, washing off, because I didn't want to I had already put my family through enough. I didn't want to be a hindrance on anybody. A lot of people know that. Like, I let all of this stuff go. And he came to me one day and he was like, D, don't give up. And he gave me $1,000. He just gave it to me. He said, man, don't worry about it.
Wow.
I hope this helped you out. And that really pumped me to go some more. So I went to working harder. Man, I came out of that situation with flying colors. I opened my shop. And like 2 weeks later, I get my first celebrity. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, man, what if I would have given up? None of this would have taken place, you know? And I sacrificed so much. Like, people, like, I talk to guys now, like upcoming barbers and stuff, and sometimes stylists. Nobody wants to sacrifice anymore because social media, it loses people. And now you have this illusion where I can get it overnight. Mind you, you can do it overnight with social media. But you got to realize also, social media is so big now. There used to be a barbershop at every corner. Now you got one in every hand. So you know what I'm saying? It's easy to get clients, but man, you got to be doing something spectacular to stand out from these other 100 barbers I've seen in the last 20 minutes. So nobody wants to sacrifice anymore. Nobody wants to pass our flyers. And mind you, we may be past the era of passing out flyers and business cards, but those are things I still hold dear, and I still do, because that's what helped catapult me to the next level. And people don't want to do that anymore, you know? So I stumbled into the barbering business out of circumstance. I hated it. Now I love it. And now, guess what, brother? I'm able to invest in real estate now. I have property. I have land out of state. But I'm doing it the right way. It's like God took all that away. He didn't want it. It was like, looking back in hindsight, it's like he didn't want me to get it that way. But now I claim everything on my taxes. Credit score, I have business credit, I have personal credit. You know, I can make moves. I'm on my way to becoming a full-time real estate developer, because like I told you earlier, that was my initial love. But this is my stepping stone, and now it's evolving into something else. You know, the whole ride and journey has been amazing. And I'm giving you a lot more than I give other people, but there's so much more that's going to be in that book. Like the places I went to try to get loans, how I maxed out, like I was getting credit cards just to max them out so I can buy stuff. I messed up over $50,000 trying to build my shop because I didn't know any better. And you know how hard it is to get $50,000 cutting hair? Man, that is backbreaking. That is backbreaking. But, you know, I went through it and I did it, and I can say it, and I feel strongly about it. And, you know, I speak with conviction when I say it because I feel it every time I talk about it. And every day I wake up, I thank God for another day, even if like something bad could be going on. You know, I know that I'm not supposed to be here today. No, there's a chance. There's a very good chance I wouldn't have been here today if that miracle wouldn't have happened in that courtroom. So I don't take no day for granted. And I take a lot of stuff serious. Probably more than I should, but until you've been through what I've been through, like, you have this fear of not wanting to go back to those dry places. And I know, like, yesterday's work to me is no good. I accomplished something yesterday, I need to be doing something else today. Because yesterday is forgotten about. And you always have to stay ahead of the 8 ball and try to remain relevant, especially in the industry I'm in, because it's always flipping and it's so fast. It's really fast paced. It's highly competitive. But, you know, I operate from a different corner when it comes to barbering. You know, that's my tool of going to the next level. It's in me. You know, I didn't have to go out and look for it. It was already in me. I just wasn't paying it no attention. But when I did, man, it was crazy. When I did, it was crazy. Yeah, it showed up. I say that. It showed up big time. Big time. I never looked back.
What's the name of the book?
You know what? She asked me not to say it. And I'm but she asked me not to say it.
Okay.
She asked me not to say it maybe we'll follow up in a couple of weeks or something. I talked to her about it, but she really didn't want to reveal like too much of it at all. But man, it's awesome. I tell you, it's awesome. It's awesome.
Okay.
And it's going to be. Go ahead.
I guess the cover hasn't been revealed either yet.
No. Matter of fact, we haven't really worked on the artwork. We haven't started on that yet. I think when we get midway, she's going to start on that. But as far as the title and everything, it's crazy. It's a good one, man. It's going to be a great one, should I say. It's going to be a great one.
I bet. So, you're a barber, or a hair guide, if you will. Because you can, like, Google hair units for black men, and you come up in a search. There's like 3 top guys that come up in a search, and you're one of them. There's also like a guy named Wade the Barber.
Yeah.
And then some other
Wade's
gentlemen.
A good guy.
Yeah. So I had no clue about hair units. Now I've been rocking the bald look for maybe 5 years now. And I was just telling my girl that I was like, hey, I'm gonna grow my hair back. So I tried to, and something's different about my head. Now I shaved my head, to be different. I had dreadlocks, and everybody was doing dreadlocks. I said, no, I don't want to do dreadlocks anymore. I'm just gonna do the bald thing with a beard. Then so this time around, I try to grow my hair back. Something's different about my head. My hair won't grow all the way back. I was like, no, I'm a black bald guy. Yeah. So now I had no idea about hair units, until I seen your stuff come across my desk. And now it's an eye opener. It's a game changer. You have this product that has a patent pending, and I can't even pronounce the name of it. What is it called?
Fuse.
Okay. Yeah. I was trying to be fancy. I was like, Fuzazi, Fuad.
You got some people say Fuse. Yeah, it's Fuse, man.
Fuse. All right. So let's talk about that, man. Without giving, too much away of your formula, because, I guess the secret's in the sauce. But how did this come about?
I seen the opportunity before anybody else did in the New Orleans area. I have a network of guys out there, particularly Marcus Harvey, big inspiration for me, and he's out in ATL. So I kind of keep my ear to the ground when they got something going on. I seen it start to trend there. It was trending in New York, and it was trending in LA. And man, this was about 5 years ago. So I caught it before anybody even really did it down here. And I took 3 classes. One of the classes I took was actually Wade's classes. I took 3 classes, and each teacher taught me something different. And I took what I thought was best from their classes, and I put my own twist on it to pretty much develop my own formula, which I came up, my own formula or technique, whatever you want to call it. And I call it Fuse. I gave it a name. And I must have practiced in secret for maybe a year and a half before I knew, okay, I'm good enough to put this out to the public. And one of my clients, he let me do it in his head. He was balding at the top and in the cranial, and not the cranial, I'm sorry, in the crown. And I filled him up. You couldn't even tell that he had lost hair. And he was real excited. I'm excited. He let me take pictures, and I put it on social media, and it went crazy. And then a lot of requests came in, and just to watch how I've grown. I've grown pretty big, considering the limited amount of exposure I've had. Reason being, because I have clients that have medical conditions, and when you start dealing with HIPAA and stuff and insurance, you can't share these things with people. You can't share it with the public. You get you in big trouble with the medical field. But it went from one guy now I'm helping women suffering with alopecia. You have kids that have alopecia suffering like from this illness, or they have chemical burns, or sad to say, some you have kids that may have cancer and they're going through chemo, they've lost their hair, and I'm helping these families deal with this, because man, this is bigger than, if you're not in it, you really wouldn't understand the magnitude of hair loss all across the spectrum. Just what it does to a person's sight, like they lose confidence. You have kids that want to stay covered up. They don't want to go to school. Their self-esteem is real low. Man, prior to this, I didn't even know hair was considered a limb in the medical field. I didn't know that. Hair is considered, they didn't even teach me that in science books in class, but doing this, I learned it. Hair is considered a limb, an actual piece of your body. And, just to where it's going now, it's remarkable. It's a game changer. Not in turn, of course, it's going to do its financial thing, but just to see the smiles on these people's faces once they see the ending result, what they came in for, like, you can't put a price on that. You really can't.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
that's how that
happens. NPR is saying that this is like a $2.4 billion industry.
Oh, it's crazy. That is
crazy numbers.
Crazy. And guess what? They're going to climb. Really, it's going to climb now, because in the African American community, it's becoming more accepted and more popular now, in a sense. When I first started doing it, nobody wanted people to know they're getting it. Now you have guys embrace me. You got football players. You got everybody want their hair back now. So we don't care how we get it. Let's talk about it. Let's show it. So it's going to grow even more. Man, that's the future of barbering.
Yeah.
That is the future of barbering.
You just take some hair, and then you got hair again.
Right.
Without taking pills, without putting all kind of oil and Spanish Vaseline on your head. Yeah.
Right.
Sure,
right.
I tried them all. But is that what happened to Usher? Is that what he did?
You know what? I don't know about the Usher situation. This is my first time hearing about him.
Yeah. Because all of a sudden he has like Ricky Martin here with a partner on the side.
I don't know. I don't think Usher has. I don't think he wears a hair unit though. No. I have to look into that one. I'll fill you in on that next time. But right now I don't know, so I can't see.
Definitely. So you've had a chance to work with like some top name celebrities. There's one of my favorite characters from Empire that you've styled his hair. Hakeem from Empire, which is his character name. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So how did that opportunity come about?
A referral. A friend of mine named Maria. She's a makeup artist, and we have Essence in New Orleans once a year. And she has an agent, and she does a lot of jobs when a lot of famous people, they have big events that come to the city, and they reached out to her because they hired her for the grooming part of him, for us keeping sweat out, like shaving his face and keeping sweat out of his face before the cameras turn on at every turn, right? So they asked her if she knew any barbers, and she gave the lady my information, and I had got the email. I got an email from Fox Empire, and I thought it was some kind of spam or something. And I actually deleted the email. I'm like, man, the world for that. This got to be something crazy. And that's when she texted me. She was like, hey, D, my connect from Fox is going to be calling you. They need you to cut Brashear hairs for press when he comes out here. I'm like, what? And I was pretty happy and everything. I'm like, man, I just deleted the email. She said, man, you better go back and get that email. Email the lady back. And so I went got it out of my trash folder, and I emailed her back, and they hired me for his press events in New Orleans. Yeah, nice. That's how that happened.
Nice.
And he liked it so much.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh no, you go ahead.
Yeah, he liked this haircut so much. He said, "Man, this is the haircut I'm gonna wear for my first for the first filming of the show." And I thought he was joking. And when he left here, he had to go film like the next day. And when it came out like a couple months, he was still wearing that. That was the haircut I gave him. He wore him in the actual show. Yeah, that was dope.
Speaks volumes.
Yeah, it does, man. Really good.
Yeah. So it's 2019. We are 14 days in now. I still haven't got started on goals and aspirations, by the way, but I still have 15 more days. But that's just me. But yeah, so 2019 jumpstarts a lot of good things. What are you anticipating to happen for you for this year?
To be honest with you, I'm focusing. I want to show more of my craft, more of the creative side of me. Because like the last couple of years, I really been. My thing was helping other people, and trying to help build them up where it may be shallow. And there's shallow parts. And it takes time to you kind of get lost in it, and you forget about yourself. And I was telling my wife like probably three months for the New Year. So I'm like, you know what, Bill? Like, I want to take 2019 to really focus on myself, put myself first this time. Get some really good energy and stuff around my name, around what I do, telling my story, inspiring as many people as I can, and kind of evolve, take a slow approach, because I hate rushing stuff. I believe in patience, into evolving into this real estate developer. Like, I'm gonna show you hair, but I'm gonna make moves to go to trend in that direction. To show like, especially my peers and stuff, people, guys like me that came out of that system, out of the streets. Life is not over after incarceration. You can't believe what they tell you, because once you start believing it, you'll never get out of that. So, and I'm a real private person. I don't like talking about it. I don't like showing people stuff. But I realized, like, this is the time now for me to start showing my abilities and letting other people use them as inspiration, saying, man, if D did it, I know I can do it, because I know what he really went through. Like, I know him. It's different being like celebrities and stuff. They got stories, but you can't really connect to them because you don't know these people. You know what I'm saying? So I want to use my talents and my gifts to not only make a better life for me and my family and for those around me, but also to like inspire people for, because man, the times we in, we need all the inspiration we can get.
Yes,
and I'm not a football player. I'm not a doctor, world-renowned doctor. I'm not a LeBron James. These guys are special. They have way bigger platforms, but I have something great to offer also. Man, we all, like, mind you, I didn't have to do what I did. I made a decision. It was a bad one, but man, it's a whole lot harder to come out of jail and be successful versus having, and this is not to take shots at nobody, but having an injury and coming off of it. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you can bounce back off an injury in some months or a year, like if you're an athlete or something. You can come out of that, and everybody's waiting on your return. When you come out of jail, only people waiting. They got two people waiting for you: the police and your family. You know what I'm saying? So, man, it takes a different kind of power to come out of that. And that's just what I want to give people, you know, and show them that, you know, it's possible. You can do it. Don't let nobody tell you can't. You can if you want to. And that's the place we got to get to. We have to want to do it, despite of everything else we've been accustomed to.
Yes, sir. Well, man, we are coming up to our hour mark. Is there any last remarks that you want to make? Any last thing you want to bring up and talk about? And also don't forget to shout out where people can connect with you or even set appointments, which I'll probably be making pretty soon here.
Gotcha. Yeah. You can, if anybody want to, you know, get a haircut appointment, you can go on my website at www.teamhairbenders.com, and you can make an appointment there. My appointments only. I respect everybody's time. You can find me on Instagram at the Hairbender. Same name for all the other social media handles. And man, I want to thank you for having me today. I really appreciate it. Like, this is really big. I really, really appreciate it. I can't express that enough. And for anybody that's hearing this, you know, if you're in this situation, you got family members that's in this situation, you know, you got to help them believe when they don't believe, and let them know that they can do it, and they don't have to go back to that. Yeah, you got to help them. You got to help them, man. But other than that, man, that's it. That's it for the day.
Definitely. So, question, not as an interviewer, but as a potential client. I'm sure that you probably don't discuss this out in the opening, but pricing. Like, do I need to have like $3,000 to come see you, or what's the deal?
You talking about in terms of like the hair units or something?
Yeah, getting my hair back.
Yeah, they range from $250 to $650, depending on which one you get. Yeah, $250 to $650. And of course, the higher one is gonna last you longer. But I always tell people, try your entry level one for $250 just to get accustomed to it and see if you like it. Don't come in spending $650 if you never had it before. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So you do like regular maintenance, brush it, wash it, go swimming.
Yeah, I mean, you come in there, you're not doing no swimming. You can't. You can't do that. You're not doing no swimming, brother. But I mean, you come in once a month or twice every other week to get, you know, a haircut or get it tightened up, and you know, you're good to go.
Cool deal. All right, my brother Darrl-the-hairbender-roberts. Man, it was my pleasure having you on the show today. Can't wait to get this episode out to the masses. And
got you, man.
Man, we're rooting for you, man. In the 2019, I'll be looking out for the book.
Appreciate it, man. I'm gonna make sure you get a copy first, man. Make sure you get a copy first.
I appreciate that. Yeah. You doing digital, audio, and paperback, or?
I like to read. I'm a reader, so I really want to go paperback. You know, we may talk about digital, but my first love was to be paperback. I love to read, and I love paperback books, hardcovers, or whatnot. But yeah, I'm gonna go with what I'm passionate about first.
Got you. Yep. We need to read more anyway.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you're right, man. It's swiping season. You know how that go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man.
All right, man. Well, you have a blessed day. May God continue to bless you, man.
Man, same to you, brother.
Thank you.
You're welcome, bro.
Thank you, my Vigilantes family, as always, for checking out my podcast over here at Vigilantes Radio. All episodes are available for free download, and you can grab that from either Spreaker.com/only1mediagroup, iTunes, YouTube, any app that's on a Google Play or iTunes store, or our website. And that goes from every single episode that we've ever aired. If you'd like to request music or a particular guest or send something for me to play, email it to vradio@only1mediagroup.com. If it's music, please label it by artist and title. Here's my disclaimer. We are genre-free, we do not judge, and we absolutely do not base our opinions on hearsay, but facts alone. And actually, you can scratch all of that because all of my opinions are always right. That's the bottom line. This is my show, so deal with it. Nah, just kidding. On behalf of myself, Dini-Mussolini, I appreciate all you guys for tuning in, either afterwards or live with us. Spread the word, because sharing is caring. We stepped up our game just for you guys and our guests to make sure that you have the best experience here on our show. Be sure to connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, as well as Spreaker. We always follow back. That is the number one rule. Okay, well, just remember to be yourself and be absolutely great at just doing that. Avoid being too comfortable, because you're messing with your potential when you do that. Peace and have a good night.
You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, the people's choice for quality interviews, art, music, and hot topics. Hosted by Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds of the duo No Longer the Hero. All episodes of this podcast are available for free download at www.onlyonemediagroup.com. This is a Seventh Sign Regime Rebirth Worldwide Syndicate exclusive.